how do I believe in my delusion more fully? Or how do I start believing in it? Or what makes it easier to believe in it? And my answer is self-concept. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Do you need a good self-concept to create the life of your dreams? It's the age-old question, right? And what I'm going to say is no, you don't need it, right? You do not need it, but it does help tremendously, especially when you're trying to believe a new reality, when you're reprogramming your mind, okay? So we're going to talk about that today. It's like the analogy, what I say the other day, can you ski without a ski jacket? Yes, you can. You definitely, technically can. Are you going to last very long? Is it going to be comfortable for you? Probably not. I mean, I've skied without a ski jacket before and I got really cold, and I think I did 2 runs when I didn't have a jacket on, okay? So it's really just like, that's a good analogy for it, because you don't necessarily need it, but you're gonna want to probably have, nurture your self-concept so that you can, just to make your life easier, basically. So by the end of this video, you're going to be a master at self-concept, and I'm going to give you 3 easy steps to fully transform your self-concept through reprogramming your mind to have a good self-concept, because it can only help, and a lot of people, or I've had the complaint that it's like, oh, it takes a long time, or like it's taking me away from my creating what I actually want, like specifically the dreams and goals I'm working on. But I would say to that, like, it's okay. Like, this is going to help you so much that it doesn't matter that it's taking a little bit of time, and it doesn't take that long. Okay. So, I definitely recommend doing it. You can either do it first before you try to create anything else, or you can do it in tandem, together with other things that you are creating. Okay. So anyway, so 3 steps. Number 1 is to stabilize in your abilities. Okay. So what I mean by that is, like your abilities to create your life. So you want to be stabilized first. Okay. That's like the first point in mastering your self-concept. Okay. So number 1, be stabilized in your abilities to create your dream life, right? So that would include affirmations such as, I'm the operant power of my life. No one can do anything to me, right? If you're the operant power, then no one can do anything to you. So those two kind of go together. But basically stabilizing in what you can create and how you can create, and your ability to master your creation ability, right? So that is a stabilizing factor. So I'm in control of my life. I get to reprogram my mind. Another one that helps is I'm the only one who can think my own thoughts, right? Like, no one else can think your own thoughts. So that kind of makes you feel like you have the power, and you want to just keep implementing the fact that you have the creative ability. You're the artist here. You're the clay molder. You're the one who's making the mold of the clay. You get to, essentially, you're handed a blob of clay and you get to make it your own, right? You're the painter, you're the creator here, and just basically stabilize anything you can think of that will help you ground in to the fact that you are the one here. You are making the choices. You are reprogramming your mind. No one can, even though people can, chit chat or say things to you, tell you different things, you're the one who has the deciding factor that can let it in or ignore it, say that's not me. You're the decider. You're the chooser in your reality, and just making that clear. You can say all those affirmations, like I'm the decider, I get to choose, I'm presented with information that I get to choose from. Nothing is not a choice. That's a double negative, but nothing is not a choice, meaning everything's a choice for me. Like I'm the choice maker. Okay, so stabilize, ground in that. That's number one. Okay, number two is don't skip the first step, is what I have here like in bold letters, because it's like that's really important to like ground that in and make sure you are fully grounded in that first step. Then the second one is basically focusing on self-love, right? So that has to do with your appreciation of yourself. So what do I say to clients? Like wake up and write a list of things, maybe 10 things that you appreciate about yourself. Like, you know, it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be, you know, your qualities, any type of good personality traits you like about yourself. It could be anything, like you love your eyelashes, or you have amazing communication skills, you know, it could, yeah, so just the range of things you could say, from physical to non-physical, just simple appreciations. Even if you just like your feet, you know, like you can definitely think of something you love about your body. It doesn't have to be you love your whole body. It can just be little things, you know. Just get yourself thinking in that direction, like loving yourself, appreciating yourself. Like, you know, you can love the fact that you journal every morning and you take time to like set your day out and make a plan for your day, or the fact that you've been walking 3 times a week, or like just commend yourself for the things that you're doing well. Okay. And the other thing is notice, along with that, notice things you're doing well, you know, besides just making a list of things you're grateful or thankful about yourself, that you appreciate about yourself. Make another list of 10 things you're doing well right now. Like it could be any little thing, like I'm keeping up with my laundry right now. I'm not letting my laundry get overwhelming, right? I mean, that's one for me, right? I'm not letting laundry pile up, or I'm making healthier dinners, or I'm actually home cooking my meals. You know, things that you are like doing well right now. We really want to focus on what you're doing well and appreciating yourself. So those 2 things are part of step 2. Okay, so 2 lists. One is what I'm doing well, and the other is things I appreciate about myself. Could be the smallest thing, like I love the way I write in my journal, or I love the way I wake up and right away I'm doing my affirming routine, right? Like anything that's like, you know, anything. It could be so little, you know, just to get you in the direction of appreciating yourself. Okay. And then the third thing is, the third thing is just your specific area that's weak for you. And I made a video about, I think it's called Self-Concept Simplified, and it's basically just figuring out what area you are. I'm sorry, just distracted. My dog's doing. What you doing? Oh, okay. It's basically it's writing a list of every area of your life, right? Relationships, work, friendships, you know, every area of your life, or finances, success, all these areas, right? There's so many, and just writing the first thing that comes to mind about each thing. And that gives you an idea of where you're weak and where you need work. So if the first thing you write down, the example I gave in the other video is, if the first thing you write down about relationships is like no one ever likes me, or like the people I like don't like me back, or whatever, then you know that's an area you need help in. So focus on those. So the third step is just basically working on what exactly you need specific help on, right? The other 2 are more basic. They're more generalized, creating like a stabilized base of yourself, for your self-concept, like just grounding into like, you know, a baseline of what creates a high level of self-concept in which to sort of like bounce from, right? You want to stabilize yourself first, and then you can work on your specific areas. But I don't recommend ever for people to go straight to the specific areas. I think stabilizing in a general way with those first 2 steps is so important. Okay, so this is how I teach it. This is how I've been teaching it for like 10 or 15 years to, you know, clients, coaching clients. So this is so helpful, and I hope this helped you. I know that it did. And thumbs it up if you liked it. I know you did. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe or think about it, you know. And also let me know in the bottom, like in the comments, what you're doing for your self-concept, or like what area you're working on specifically, and whatever worked for you. I'm always interested in knowing like what works for other people. I know this has worked for me, and I know this has worked for clients that I have. So oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention is too, like I had a question the other day. How do I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning, but I'm going to just address this question. So the question I had was, how do I believe my affirmations, or how do I believe my delusion? And I thought it was a great question, because like, if you don't fully, I mean, it's okay if you don't believe it, but like trying to believe it is important, right? I mean, you can, if you're like fully never going to believe it, you can just, I mean, no, you can create without believing stuff, right? You don't need to fully believe anything to create your best life, but it does help to believe it. And the way you believe it more and have like more trust in it is trust in yourself, which has to do with self-concept. Basically 100% has to do with self-concept. So it's about trusting yourself so that you trust your new delusion, because it's gonna be a little awkward for you, right? It's not going to feel real at first, because you've been telling yourself a totally different story, right? And you're trying to reprogram your mind to something completely new, right? So the way to do it is seriously to start trusting yourself more, and then you're going to trust your delusion. And the way you trust yourself more is you work on your self-concept. Do these 3 steps and let me know how it works, and like if you start to trust yourself more and believe in your delusion, because we don't need to believe in it, but it definitely helps, right? So does self-concept. So they go hand in hand. Like having a solid self-concept will initiate you believing in your new delusion. It'll be much easier to believe in your new delusion. You won't question yourself as much, because you're trusting in yourself, because you're so stable in who you are, and that you're a good person, and that you love yourself, and you know, are good to others, and you are doing good in the world, and you're treating yourself right, and you are taking care of yourself, and you're just trusting. You're trusting in yourself to create your dream life. And so all of that gives you such stability in believing whatever story you choose to tell yourself. You know, whatever delusion you're stepping into, whatever life you want to step into, whatever person you want to be, whoever you choose to be, whatever delusion you are creating, it will be so much easier. I cannot emphasize this enough. I cannot emphasize this enough, that it gets so much easier to believe in your delusion when you have just like such a solid self-concept. And the first 2 steps give you such a baseline of self-concept that you can work on any other area that feels weak. Like when you write the lists out and see which area you need help in, doing step 3 becomes so much easier when you do the first 2 steps. So anyway, I know this helped. Please thumbs it up, and definitely think about subscribing if you love this content, because I'm going to be doing a video a day, hopefully. We'll see. But anyway, bye guys.